Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on Toned In Entertainment where we love pop culture. Today, it's time for another movie look back review. Now, I was definitely excited when I decided to go back and look at this particular movie. I remember it just being one action-packed, kick-ass type of movie. But it's been 28 years since its release. How well has it held up? Well, it's time to set sail as I look back at Under Siege, released back in 1992. The movie stars Steven Seagal as Casey Ryback, Gary Busey as Commander Krill, Tommy Lee Jones as William Strannix, Erika Eleniak as Jordan Tate, and was directed by Andrew Davis. Now it's been 50 years since the attacks on Pearl Harbor, and peace finally seems to be in the cards for the United States as it's decided to retire one of its most dangerous battleships. But before that can happen, a group of domestic terrorists decide to invade the ship to get their hands on these nukes, and it'll be up to one chef and one Playboy playmate to stop them. Now, it's been quite some years since I've watched Under Siege, and to be perfectly honest, I couldn't remember going into this movie who the bad guys were. That was until Gary Busey showed up on screen. Now, at the beginning of this movie, he comes off as a good guy, but as soon as my fiance saw him, she said, "Let me guess, he's gonna be the bad guy, isn't he?" Well, she was definitely right. Now, if you go into any Steven Seagal movie expecting high quality acting, you're definitely in the wrong place. As long as it's okay, it's usually passable. But here, other than Tommy Lee Jones, the acting in this movie is for the most part either really bland or pretty bad, especially when it comes to Casey Ryback's sidekick, Jordan Tate. Now, while we don't expect high-quality acting in Steven Seagal movies, the one saving grace for most of us is the action scenes. And thankfully here at Under Siege, there are some good action scenes. While the majority of this movie will take place in the interiors of a battleship, Casey Ryback definitely cooks up some interesting ways to take out his enemies. Now, do I recommend you guys go back and check out Under Siege? Well, this is kind of a tough one for me because if you've watched Under Siege in the past, you might be like me and have very fond memories of this movie. And when I rewatched it here in 2020, honestly, it was kind of a letdown. So if you do go back and watch Under Siege, just go into it, guys, with lower expectations. Now, if you're really having a nostalgic feel and you want to rewatch Under Siege, it is available to rent for as little as $3.99. But guys, I definitely recommend if you do want to rewatch this movie, wait for it to come on HBO or any of your favorite streaming platforms. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give the movie Under Siege a 5.5 out of 10. Now, for me, a 5 is straight average. So giving it a 5.5 just puts it just slightly above average, but I'm probably only giving it that little bit of a bump because I really do have some nostalgic love for this movie. But honestly, if I had gone and watched this movie for the first time ever in 2020, I probably would have just zoned out completely. Now, there is a second movie in the Under Siege series, and I do remember liking it more than the first movie, so I am going to go back and rewatch that movie, and I'm really hoping that movie doesn't let me down. All right, guys, when was the last time you ever watched Under Siege, and what are your memories of this movie? And guys, if you like movie look back reviews like this, make sure you subscribe here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.